I was looking at some of the issues that are being raised over there. Number one, who are the sponsors of Nigerian Islamization? Who are the sponsors of Nigerian Islamization? The truth be said, just like it is open, like there are some people that were being investigated or arrested in Dubai. And even in your broadcast, a number of them has been brought out to the public. Yes, people are still asking. People are still asking, who are the sponsors? When you even know them, it's point back to the fact that a lot of people are not being sincere to themselves, or simply because they are not bold enough to confront the issues. They are not bold enough to confront the issues. And when they see the people that are bold enough to talk about the issues and the solution, like Nnamdi Kanu, and they will say, oh, he doesn't know how to talk. Like Delebarotmi was saying. Now, so the issue of Delebarotmi, he agreed that Nnamdi Kanu, everything Nnamdi Kanu was saying was true. Then why don't you agree with him? I would say, from my own point of view, that even Commodore Olawumi became bold enough to speak up because he saw the courage of Nnamdi Kanu, because Nnamdi Kanu has been talking about these issues. And most of them that spoke up was because they knew, they saw that this guy has courage to speak up, to say the truth to power. That was the reason why some of them were coming up. If you ask me, I don't think it is only Olawumi, Commodore Olawumi, that knew the truth of what is going on. A lot of people knew, but they kept silent. They are not bold enough to talk about it. So when I hear some people saying, oh, he doesn't like the method Nnamdi Kanu is using, which method is Nnamdi Kanu using? Nnamdi Kanu called a spade, that the pastors are compromised, that the Igbo politicians, Yoruba politicians are compromised. They sit back, they see their nation, their people being killed. Nobody is talking about it. Okay? So, all these points to the fact that a lot of people are not being sincere. And until we begin to tell ourselves the truth, that place called Nigeria can never, and like I have said, the only solution is disintegration. And I want to also say, by now, everybody should channel their efforts to the release of Nnamdi Kanu. He committed no crime. The whole world are seeing it.
My assertion toward one Nigeria is, we can agree, you have your own leader, whether anybody accepts it or not. The only leader with a powerful mantle of leadership from the eastern part of Nigeria is Nnamdi Kanu. There is a difference between ruler and a leader. You may have governors, you may have senators. Those are your rulers because they are using power to force you to do what you don't like. But Nnamdi Kanu, when he tell you everybody should not go out tomorrow, you people refuse to go out, not because you are afraid of Nnamdi Kanu, but because you believe he cannot choose something that can hurt you.
Okay.
That is what we call leadership. And equally, each and every region should have this kind of people. Then we should come together. We are Nigeria. We will enjoy our strategic location in terms of business. You are Biafran, you are moving into northern Nigeria to do your business. You don't need visa because we are a Nigerian. You are northerner, you want to go to Biafra to do your business. You don't need visa because you are a Nigerian. But the resources of Biafra should be controlled by Biafrans. Okay. The security architecture of Biafra should be provided by Biafrans. The resources of Oduduwa Republic should be controlled by Oduduwans. The security architecture and the economic policy as well as customary law should be an indigenous system that a Yoruba man will never feel that his culture, his history is being tampered under a system that is not fair and just to him. The same thing in northern Nigeria. Northerners should have a system that is working for them. There is no problem for people of different history, people of different religion, people of different background to be under the one system. But the difference is, can we accept our differences and live in peace and harmony? Can respect of one another be part of our differences? Wherever you see chaos, wherever you see conflicts, wherever you see crisis, it was initiated by injustice. If the Biafran people, they feel equally treated like other people from the other region, there should be no question of secession.
Okay.
So Nigeria should have a single army. This our army should be Nigerian army. But the policing, there should be nothing like Nigerian police. There should be nothing like Nigerian custom. We should have Biafra regional custom, the northern regional custom, because if a northerners, they don't want to beer and alcohol in their region, they forbid it. It was not a it's not an exhibit if you go to Biafra land. So therefore, Biafran custom have the right to clear it to their own land. But if you bring somebody from Kanu to clear what will enter Biafra land, whatever he see that to tamper his culture will touch his brain, will change his psychological thinking, it will now cause confusion.
Okay, thank you.
Those who I'm coming. Yeah. Those who created this system, they don't mean well for the North. They don't mean well for Nigeria. They don't mean well for Biafran, and they don't mean well for this thing. For them, Nigeria is just like a company for them. And zone, choosing a general manager called president to put him there, and he has no power to implement any policy. If you allow me to be a president of Nigeria today, and Nigerians choose to abide by what I will say, by the year 2040, Nigeria will be among the most powerful nations in the world, not only in Africa. They say we are the giant of Africa, we are only sleeping giant. We are suffering like other African countries. We are suffering diseases like other African countries. We are suffering from poverty like other African countries. We are suffering from illiteracy like other African countries. We are suffering from corruption like other African countries. Then what makes us giant?
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay? Oh, we are what we do, not what we say we are.
Thank you.
And we are what we represent to you, not what you perceive we are.
Allah go bless you.
And what I want you to understand, Jobless King here, what he was saying, he disliked the approach. You didn't even listen to us throughout the discussion. Our discussion was not, no, you see, our discussion was not initially on this issue. Our discussion was in the generality of Africa. What is the fate of Africa in a modern generation? If you carefully study what entirely Africa is engulfed into, each and every African nation is suffering from nearly the same problem. And our problem is an imperial system being imposed on us by imperial arrogant powers that will not allow Africa to strive and develop as a continent. And we say we need leaders who understand what Africa needs. At this moment, what Africa needs is leadership, not necessarily democracy, because we don't know democracy before the coming of these colonial masters. And if you look at what they are offering or practicing in their own country, it is not necessarily democracy, it is their national interest. So we as African should be in a system that we will relate to any country, whether that country is Europe or whatever that country is, but we can only relate to that country based on mutual respect, where we are benefiting from the relationship, they are also benefiting. But in a situation whereby now, despite the abundant crude oil we have here in Nigeria, now see how much we are buying in liter. Many people believe maybe it is because of this or that. The reason is that there is a policy of pushing away fossil fuel as a main source of energy, and because majority of the country that are the country hegemonic system today, they are falling apart. Now there is rising powers, so the goal is moving into multipolarity.
Since 2017, I've taken interest in the problem of Nigeria, and I know things are not working. Absolutely. People will say that human beings are no good, but then system is also very, very important. If there is no system, then it's everybody for himself, nobody for everybody else. Nigeria is essentially lawless at this time. Nobody obeys anything, impunity reigns. Because the constitution that we have is not even respected. We don't own it. It's just imposed by the military. But the main motivation in brief is that Nigeria currently is financially bankrupt. We have 36 states, regions, consuming money. The governors, the assembly members, National Assembly itself, 774 local governments, they're just receiving salaries and there's no impact in what they are doing. We have to change the structure. And the beauty of what I'm even proposing is that in a federation, there should be a central constitution for the country. The federated units must have their own constitution to govern their affairs too. That's fundamental. We are running a unitary system. It has to change.
Okay. I need to clear something before we continue to talk about your proposal. I've read several reports. They say you are a chieftain of the Yoruba Social Cultural Association of Fenifere, and you're also a member of the Coalition of Indigenous Ethnic Nationalities. Can you please confirm if this is a sole citizen move proposal, or it is in conjunction with either of this group?
Strategically, I chose to answer my father's name. I chose not to be affiliated with any of these bodies, so that I will not be labeled, it's an Afenifere affair, is this, is that. I authored the document solely by myself. But then, being a member of all these bodies, I've listened to what Nigerians are saying. I know what the issues are. So I feel qualified as a senior citizen to be able to provide solutions. For goodness sake, I'm over 70. I'm entitled to my own opinion. And I want Nigeria to work for me and for my children. That's enough.
I mean, nobody can fault that at all. Nobody can fault that. I think
I'm not against it.
I think you were on the news a couple of days ago, and I practically asked that you join us for today's conversation. So we'll understand the motivation. And I'm getting a clue here. You are motivated by personal concern about the future of this country and your children. So let's talk about this bill. I mean, this proposal, there is conflicting argument as to whether it's actually a bill because it's not going through the process. But before we talk about the process, just educate us on what the key points of your proposal and how it stands to benefit Nigerians.
The key point is that Nigerian nation is currently insolvent. We are borrowing money to pay salaries because Nigeria has been fragmented into bits beginning from 1967. 12 states, 19 states, 21 states, now 36 states. Because we thought we have so much money. There's room for many governors, many assembly members. At this point now, we are broke. So we have to contract, we have to aggregate back. If somebody is living in a 10-room mansion and the economy is now bad, it's not good for him to go to a 2-bedroom house. So we now need 8 centers of governance, not 36. We need only one parliament, not dual camera. And all the boundaries of Nigeria will remain the same, but then we'll reduce the level of civil servant, public service.
But there are implications here, Doctor.
Development.
I know you're still trying to explain, but the little you've said, there are implications. When you talk about shrinking the number of ministries, you talk about one parliament, you talk about, you know, having just 8 centers as against having one center of government. What about basically you have to break apart before you can put together. Have you considered the fallout that might come from the unemployment, the mass unemployment that will now come up? Or do you have a plan as to how to integrate? We have multiple ministries as it stands, and we're still employing.
First of all, change comes at a cost. At present, we have government for politicians, government by politicians. Citizen has no place at all. Look at Lagos, cholera in Lagos. There is no pipe-borne water. We are using sachet water. In the 60s, and from Malaysia and Osun State, there was pipe-borne water on every street. We have so much rivers, no money to dam them to provide water. We have 3,000 megawatts of power for 25 years. Schools are being paid for doing nothing. Refineries are not producing petrol, and we are paying salaries for all these years. How can we continue like that? So if you don't, and we have a 3-year plan, it's not going to be start today. People will have to find new jobs. And there are new jobs. We are not farming. We are not raising cows. All the roads are not maintained. All buildings are dilapidated. There is more work.
But these things you're talking about are more of leadership challenges. How do you propose that creating this regional government will truly address these challenges? Are you looking perhaps at the competition that will emerge among the regions to grow? On the flip side of that, that competition may not bode well for the unity of the country.
Unity of Nigeria is not, we are not really united. We are only deceiving ourselves. We are not united. That's why you have Boko Haram, that's why ipob. If you don't lower the temperature to open up a conversation, to really know what is the problem, we are just deceiving ourselves. Until we now discuss what the next 1 year, who is where, who want to live with whom, on what terms, then we'll be on the road to recovery. It doesn't mean one day everything will be solved, no. But we're on a wrong course now. We have to do 180 degrees turn. There will be challenges, I agreed. But we just have to embark on a new journey.
Okay. Something interesting.
A quick point.
Okay, go ahead.
A quick point. If we go to the next election 2027 with the same 100 million naira form to run for president, 50 million naira to run for senate, only money bags can run. No serious person can run. And money is not everything in leadership. The way it is now, if you stole money, you buy your ticket, you buy your office, and then you insult the citizens. That's how it is. Look at Governor of Kogi State. He invited a few to show up. Is that right?
So is this more per se of nostalgia for you? Because on the one hand, the Nigeria that you reference when we have this regional government and the Nigeria of today are not exactly the same. But there are things that are the same. We find that the leaders you had in the past are still the leaders you are. We just recycle them. They change clothes. You know, if one party is not working, they metamorphose into something else and they perpetuate themselves in power. So is it not just changing one name for another and still recycling the same leaders? Because the question I asked you earlier remains. You talked about how infrastructure was. Lagos had water and all of that. But that same problem remains. And it's the same leaders that we've been having over the years.
It is not. In the 60s, parties were based on ideology. There was action group. The motto was freedom for all, life more abundant. They have 4 cardinal programs: education free, health free, employment and industrialization, and they were focused on it. But in the last 25 years, it's cash and carry politics, no ideology. when we report back to the regions, the Igbos have a way of life. The Yorubas have a way of life. The way they will run government, it will be clear. And we shall compete. In the 60s, the Western region was doing certain things. The East would do certain things. The North would do certain things. And they were making progress. But now, it's just to share money in Abuja. The governors take the money every month. They pay a little salaries, a little pension. That is all. We don't know what happened to the money again.
I mean, Doctor, you keep going back about the economic situation. And my worry, you say it is not the same people. The person we have now as president was around when we had the Abiola situation. The previous president was in the military era before we became a democracy. And now we have the situation. Realistically, how will this work in today's Nigeria? I even hear that you are proposing, I read a bit of your interview, suggesting, and you alluded to that now, that each region, maybe this tribe has their strengths. Are you suggesting a regionalization that's based on religion or tribe? Or were you misquoted there? Because I asked that question now based off of what you said.
Absolutely. We cannot differentiate from humanity in the world. In Europe, there is Finland for Finnish. There is Sweden for the Swedish people. There is France for the French people. There is Germany for Germans. There is Holland for Dutch. Even United Kingdom, there is Wales. There is Scotland. There is Ireland. And identity of human beings is very important. Even in Nigeria, people don't steal money from their community associations because you are from the same town, the same people. But you can steal money from Abuja. I won't steal money from Igisha people now because I'm from there. But Abuja money is rural money, nobody owns it. So let's face reality. We have to show our face in the sun. Absolutely, absolutely. I know that we have to differentiate, but we will respect each other. We are still neighbors.
God go fit help us for inside this country called Nigeria. If you look at the first Hausa guy that talking in this video, he said that okay, make everyone go in own way. Although in talks in support terms, say okay, if everyone won't go in own way, it just do okay because of the way this country they go. He say make though they like fight, make Nigeria divide. Waiting they try talk on the video. We say we feel they the same country but different this thing. Although I'm not sure if the own plan, but the way you want plan and now you feel work because of the way they put on. But then you talk and say make Nigeria maybe be one bet. We are one Nigeria but we are still divided. Well, that's what he is trying to say. Waiting they talk be say okay, we feel they inside this country called Nigeria now but Oduduwa Republic go dey, Biafra nation go dey, Arewa nation go dey, and each of the three major language that we have now that in them did their own day, make each of them get their own army, get their own police, get their own this, get their own that. That is to say okay, indirectly Nigeria is divided. But the way you want just put on, go fit work the way you talk and do. I support waiting that guy talk for inside this video because okay, SARS, it's okay that they use their head well. If not okay, me I never see a Hausa man, a good Hausa man like this guy will just talk for inside this video because he carry good plan come. The plan will be saying carry and come na better plan, but go fit work the way they put on based on how this country they go because this country don't plenty. Pass the way you want just put on because okay, I still want to put on like that. So what about the people that are in middle belt? Okay, which category would they fall to? Where are they going to fall to? Like if now based on the way the guy want put on now, we won't follow. And if you look at the other man we talk, this Akin Fakunda, like this man just they fight for regional government. They fight for this country because of the way that they loot our money. They fight for us. And all these things we've seen they do seems not to work because of the way this country called Nigeria they. Though not only God now will help each and every one of us in this country. Because it not be only that division safe. I don't think so okay. Get anything we've seen go help this country called Nigeria. Only that division and we help this country called Nigeria, because we don't want to suffer from inside this country called Nigeria. Many people don't talk about this division in the world, but I think this division now is getting closer. You understand? The day of the division is getting closer, because okay, Tinubu might even be the president to divide this country if based on the way this thing go now. And maybe like Tinubu might be the president, and if he divide this country, his name, nobody will forget his name. That is why some of the Yorubas people, they come out the other times, okay, make Tinubu divide Nigeria, maybe say Yoruba get the narrative talk. You will say here all this thing will be say so for here. If there is nothing, like if there is something you want to talk about this matter, we say it on ground now. I beg, make we talk for inside comment section. And also, if not today be your first time here, please make it like our video, share, and make it subscribe. Thank you.